come together on this Sunday, I'd like to focus on taking things for granted. For that is one of the human faults that we have, is we take so many different things for granted in our life. And we miss the great opportunity of enjoying the beauty right there in front of us. The first time I ever really recognized this was when I was a seminarian. I went down to Mexico, to Querétaro, Mexico, beautiful city in Mexico. And I was there for a few weeks trying to learn Spanish, not doing a good job at it. But in the afternoons after classes, I'd take a walk around the city, and I found this beautiful little plaza area. And I nicknamed it the Plaza of the Pero Enfermos, the sick dogs, because it had a beautiful fountain in it, and it had 4 dogs on it, and the water was spewing out of their mouth. No. But one afternoon I was sitting there, and I was having my coffee, and I was just people watching like I love to do. And there was this group of kids, probably 6, 7, maybe 8 years old. And they were having the time of their life, just playing and running and laughing and screaming and everything else. And it was so fun to watch them play. But do you know what the toy is that they were playing with, that they were getting so much joy out of? A hanger. A hanger. But they were having the time of their life. And I started thinking at that time, oh, how unfortunate we are here in the United States. I mean, how many kids get tons of presents on Christmas morning? And by the end of the Christmas week, most of those toys are stuffed in the closet because they're already bored with them. But we miss to take the opportunity to enjoy the things right there in front of us. Now, a number of years ago, I came across a wonderful meditation. It's called the Raisin Meditation. Now, I don't like raisins, so I didn't use a raisin for this meditation. But anything small and insignificant, you can do it with. And so I happen to have a peanut in its shell. And so in this meditation, what it calls you to do is to take time and enjoy what is there in front of you. And so I took that peanut and I held it in my hand. I looked at it from all the different angles. I even then put it up against my tongue and tasted it a little bit in the shell. And I got a little salty, dirty taste with it. And then I noticed how after I licked it, that area turned a darker color. And I just really spent some time examining and enjoying the little treat that was in front of me. And then finally I broke it open in half. And nestled inside of that peanut shell was 3 little tiny peanuts. One was nice and round, the other ones were kind of deformed because they were close to each other, so they had like a flat side that they joined up to each other. But they fit so perfectly in the shell all wrapped around them. And then you had the white stuff on the inside that was almost like a styrofoam. So I played with that a little bit. Then finally I took a peanut out of the shell itself, and I held that in my hand, and I rolled it around in my hand, and then the dark covering on it came off, and it revealed a milky, creamy, white peanut itself. Then I broke that peanut in half, and I saw the little beginnings of life that would be in it if it weren't cooked. Then finally I put the 2 halves in my mouth and just let them roll around in my mouth as I started to taste the peanutty of it. And finally I crunched on it. And the crunch at that time just was amazingly loud, because I was doing this all in silence. And then I chewed it and allowed the flavor to just go all through my mouth until finally I swallowed it. It's amazing what one little peanut, how much enjoyment that can give you. But we take so many things for granted in our society. We see an example of that in today's first reading. Those of you who are about my age, you've probably at least heard that first reading 100 times, if not more already. And it's so easy to just listen to it and let it go in one ear and out the other ear. Similar to what many people do at Mass each and every Sunday. They don't pay attention to what is in that reading, that jewel, that gem that God is giving to us. And so in the first reading, one of the reasons why it's so easy to take for granted is we don't understand a lot of it. But we hear how God came and spoke with Abram. Personally came to know Abram and allow Abram to know God. This is a first in humanity. Well, second actually. Adam and Eve. But this is really a first in the course of humanity after the fall. And God credited Abraham for his faithfulness. And he made Abram a promise. Because of his faithfulness, God said, I am going to bless you. Because you followed my word, because you didn't doubt in me, I am going to bless you. I want you to look up at the sky and count the stars. Hopefully it wasn't daytime because you could only count one. And count the stars there. And your descendants are going to be greater than the number of stars in the sky. So Abram asked, well, how do I know that you'll be true to your word? And so God commanded him to get 3 big animals and a couple doves and some birds. And he cut the animals in half. Now what is that all about? It's one of the reasons why we gloss over that reading so easily. Well, that is a very significant point there. Because in the days of old, what you would do when you were making a contract with somebody is you would cut some animals in half, and both parties would walk through the center path or the center road. And what they were saying as they walked through that center road is that if I renege on my part of the bargain, may this that I'm walking through happen to me. May this happen to me. And so God was saying to Abraham, hey, if I'm not faithful to my word, cut me in half. Do away with me. Powerful statement that is. But we see this happening at various other times as well. Because as you know the Old Testament more, you can see more symbolism in the other stories. And the more you know the Old Testament, the easier it is to understand the New Testament. The more you know the New Testament, the more you can understand the Old Testament. And so the next big time that we see something like this happening, before I say that. And so then that evening, what did God do? He passed through that road. He walked down that road as a light and as smoke. And so the next time that we see this is with the Exodus. And Exodus means road. And so in the Exodus, what did God do? He walked with the people in the day as a pillar of smoke, at night as a pillar of fire. And then they get to the Red Sea, and he parts the Red Sea in two. And both God and the Israelites pass through the Red Sea. And he enters into a new covenant with them, saying, I will be your God, and you will be my people. And this is what I require of you to be my people. And he gave us the 10 Commandments. And so if we break the 10 Commandments, may we be split in two. If God breaks the 10 Commandments, may he be split in two. Then we take this another step forward with Jesus Christ himself. With Jesus, in today's gospel, we hear of the transfiguration as James, Peter, and John go up to the mountain with Jesus to pray. And Jesus is transformed in front of them into his heavenly glory as he begins to shine white as the Catholic daughters. But not only him, but then Moses and Elijah, as we hear, appear in their glory as well. And what is it that they're speaking about? Jesus' Exodus. The next new covenant to be entered into, where this time not a splitting of the goats and the rams, but the sacrifice of the perfect offering, God himself. And what is he promising us this time? Now he's promising us not just to be our people, or not for us to be his people. But he says, I no longer call you slaves, I call you friends. But then that relationship now goes to a deeper level, because not only friends, but now children of God himself. As he opens up the gates of paradise to allow us to live with him for all eternity. And it's so easy to take things for granted in our world, whether it be a peanut or a raisin or our faith itself. But it is so full and rich. Another thing that we often take for granted are the people right around us. The Catholic daughters, for example. How many times have we taken them for granted? They've been in our parish now for 75 years. I wish we had a list of all the good works that you have done over these 75 years, so that we could go through that list and see how valuable you have been to our parish. But so often all we do is we see you every once in a while dressed in beautiful white at Mass. And many people think that that's all the Catholic daughters do. But if you ask any of them, they'll say, oh no. But if you look around at the Catholic daughters, most of the Catholic daughters are the people that are very influential in our parish, always volunteering, always doing things. Now, they aren't wearing the white when they're doing it. But they're everywhere. And so today, we don't want to take advantage of you. We don't want to overlook the greatness that you do and take you for granted. So today, we recognize you for the great gift that you have given to our parish over these past 75 years. And may our Lord bless each and every one of your Catholic daughters, as well as each of us, that we may never, ever take anything for granted in our life.